for people who've got the investor mindset and who want to have themselves a business, not people who are looking for a free lunch. Awesome. Thank you very much. So, who is this for? This is for people who failed miserably at building an online business before. This is for people who are inexperienced marketers who want to cut the learning curve and start earning as they learn. This is for people who want to escape the rat race but can't seem to catch a break for some reason. This is for people who are freedom seekers who want to travel more, spend more time with the family, and all while earning more money. This is for people who are non-technical, who are not technical, but who are fascinated with the idea of making money online. So in other words, if you catch yourself kind of getting onto this trend of wanting to make money online, but you feel you're past your prime as far as learning a new industry, then this is definitely for you. And people who want to own a system with multiple streams of income, plain and simple. Like if you're somebody who wants to have one source of income, like a job, probably not for you. But if you're somebody who wants to have a thing, a system, an asset that can produce multiple streams of income, then this is definitely for you. Now, my name is Igor, and I'm an 8-figure internet marketer. But of course, many of you on this call already know that because you've been subscribing to my emails, you've been seeing my videos, you've attended other webinars of mine, and chances are, if you're interested in making money from home, you've seen my name come up in one way or another, unless, of course, you've been living under a rock. And I've built an automated online business that's making me a lot of money. Now, not every day that it makes me, 28 grand or even more than that sometimes, but on average, I would say 4 figures is pretty much what I can expect waking up in the morning if I didn't do anything else. And some days are more, some days like low 4 figures, some days are high 4 figures, some days are low 5 figures, but it is very consistent at making me a lot of money, from as little as 3 grand to as much as $28,500 in a single day. Now, this business produces multiple 6-figure income streams for me. So in other words, it's not just based on one thing that I do. It's not just based on, actually, no, that's not the right way to say it. The one thing that I do actually ends up making me multiple streams of income. So I get to own and profit multiple streams of income under the umbrella of this business, right? But I have money coming in through different sources, right? So here's one source that made me $151,000 in sales, out of which I got half the money in my pocket, which is $69,912.60 last year. This one that in the last 12 months since the very beginning that I started using it made me $206,000. This one made me $442 and $32,000 in a span of about a year. This one made me $233,000 total in a span of, I think, about 2 years. This one made me $190,000 in a year. And this one is producing like as little as $1,000 to as much as $21,000 in commissions in a single day. And all of these income streams are different. Like they're not connected to each other. They're all coming in separately in parallel to each other. So one income stream making me $400,000, another one making me 200, another one making me 90, another one making me 60. And so what ends up happening is that they all add up into a big income. Now, it also produces 5-figure income streams like this one that produced $17,500, like this one that produced about $50,000, like this one that produced about $11,500. And of course, it also has multiple 4-figure income streams that just produce me money on an ongoing basis that I wouldn't even consider to be big money, like compared to making, a couple $100,000 with a single income stream. Of course, it's, not, nothing crazy, but making me, $100, $50, $200, $300 a day, right? Again, all this comes in parallel. So basically, I've got this business, right? And it just creates multiple streams of income for me. You understand that? Like that's where the power comes from. Like somebody told me once that confidence comes from ability to, to have choices, or if you have choices, you've got confidence. Well, Confidence in your income or confidence in your financial well-being usually comes from multiple streams of income. Like if you've got multiple streams of income, and one of them like goes down or whatever, you've got other income streams to build on, right? To fall back on. So give me a quick MSI. Type MSI in the chat if you understand this. That if you want to be comfortable financially, you can never do it with one source of income. You always have to be building multiple streams of income and facilitate your behavior and develop habits and do things on a daily basis that lead you to having multiple streams of income. All right. So give me MSI in the chat for multiple streams of income. All right. Kari's like MSI, MSI, MSI. Right. It reminds me of that scene in Mad Max, the most recent version, where they got around, in the courtyard and be like V8, V8. So we're like MSI, MSI. I love it. Yeah. So when I got into this business, when I got into the online marketing, when I got bitten by this bug, that's the only thing I could think of. Like I love the idea of having money come in through multiple sources. And, once I had that, life became much easier, much easier. There's been much less stress. Overall, things got a lot easier. Now, I'm pretty sure you are, but in case you're not, there's this thing that you probably are familiar with. There's this thing called the Pareto principle. So, anyone familiar with the Pareto principle? Give me, type in 80-20 in the chat if you are. Yep. No. Okay. It's a bit divided. So, the Pareto principle is the 80-20 rule, which basically states that 80% of your effort produces 20% of your result, and 20% of your effort produces the 80% of your result. So this is true for almost everything in life. 20% of the things you do at work will produce 80% of your income. 20% of your clients will produce 80% of your income. 20% of the roads in your town carry 80% of the traffic, and so on and so forth. Like 20% of the people in the United States pay 80% of the taxes that go into the coffers, right? So 80-20 is everywhere. And so I took the 80-20 and I applied it to my business. And I asked myself, what are the 80-20? What is the 80-20 of my business, right? So the 80-20 of my business actually comes down to three things. These three things make more than 80% of my income, believe it or not. They're responsible for me making as much as $10 million from this online business. And so these things are lead funnels, traffic, and email promotion. So if I had to strip down all activities, literally, if I didn't do anything, nothing but these three things, I would retain 80% of my income in this business. Like if I only put attention to these three things, which is where, to be honest with you, my attention actually goes, these three things. And this is what produces my income. Now, here's why. First off, the lead funnels. Lead funnels are basically very special websites that are built from multiple pages that are designed for one purpose: to take traffic, convert that traffic into leads, and to convert those leads into buyers. Now, everybody gets that, right? So type in 1 in the chat if you understand that a lead funnel is basically a website or a series of websites that are built with one purpose in mind. It's not a blog. It's not a social media page. It's not an authority site. It's nothing like that. It's not a page that tells people who I am. It's basically just a series of web pages that are built to suck in leads from the traffic I send there and turn those leads into buyers, right? So, okay, everybody's getting that. Thank you very much. Sean, Leroy, Shane, Chris, Greg, Lloyd, Doc, David, Heather, Louie, Jennifer, Clarence, Hans, Angel, Isabella, Douglas, and Doug, Jared, Steven, Jason, Michael, Meg. Okay, you guys are getting it. Perfect. Thank you so much. Sean's like, thank God it's not a blog. Oh my God. Yeah, thank God. All right. So now other people, this is not how I do it, but other people, this is the funnels they use. They have like a very basic capture page that captures the email address, and they just kind of send the whoever opt-in to an offer, right? So familiar with that, right, guys? I mean, this is pretty standard stuff. Now, my funnels are a little bit different. This is very typical, but my funnels are not. So you see, other people's lead funnels struggle for a couple of reasons. First, because they attract freebie seekers. That's like probably the biggest issue. And that is, I mean, I don't know if you've built a list before. Type in eight, number 8 in the chat if you tried building a list before. Okay, quite a few people. So if you found yourself, right? If you found yourself building a list and that list ain't producing, chances are you've built a list that, well, a freebie seeker list, right? So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Now, another reason why other people struggle with their lead funnels is because they promote low converting offers. So they buy this traffic or generate traffic somehow, and they send people to offers don't convert, which is of course very bad. Now, the other reason is because they follow up poorly, and I really mean poorly. A lot of people, believe it or not, and I'm a list builder, so I actually have data to back this up. I consult companies, I consult people, I work with people. And look, one of the most common things is not people, sending like unconverting emails actually, but not sending emails at all. This is crazy. This is just nuts. I don't get it. I see people invest time, energy, and resources into building the list, and they just don't follow up with it. Isn't that crazy? Like, why would somebody do that? They just don't follow up with it. And it's pretty, I mean, it's just shocking to me, but that's the reality. Now, here's what my lead funnels look like. This is an example of one lead funnel, and I have several that I'm using right now in order to generate leads. Now, you can tell immediately the difference, right? It's a lot more robust, right? It's a lot more, it's just a beast of a funnel. I mean, compare this to what other people are using. This just 2 pages. Look at my stuff. It's crazy. It's like a Terminator of a funnel, right? Now, here's why this funnel is different and why it's so effective. So first off, it qualifies the leads in a really big way. So it makes people jump through hoops. It makes people do stuff. It makes people attend the webinar. It makes people like click here and go here and check this and go there. Sometimes it makes people, attend the webinar for a certain time before we even tag them in a certain way. So it's a really advanced, smart funnel full of different steps, automations, and really, really smart segmentation. Now, the other reason why my funnels are different and they're just plain better is because they sell mid to high ticket products. So in other words, when I make a sale, I get paid more money, usually multiples of what other people get paid, right? So Sean's like, Igor, please don't be mad at me. Just clone me and take the lion's share of the profits, right? So we'll get to that, Sean. Don't worry about it. So the other reason is I sell products that are just higher priced. So I get to keep more money for every sale that I make. And that, goes a long way with advertising. And because my funnels offer multiple purchase opportunities. So my funnels actually have they create purchasing opportunities in many different ways. Most people's funnels, they have one way that they make an offer. They kind of pitch the offer. And usually they pitch the offer way too soon, if I'm honest with you. But my funnels, they not only find the right time to pitch the offer, but they do it from multiple directions. They create multiple opportunities. So it's not just one pitch. In one funnel, I can have like 20 different opportunities for the person to buy, and that's a big deal. And also because they generate a buyer list. This is a big one because really, if I take all of my email leads that I ever generate, and I generate millions and millions of them, I can take and I can really tell you that 80%, if not 90% of the revenue generated from that list will come from the buyers, the people who have initially developed a relationship with me by purchasing something from me, right? So these would be the most valuable leads, and I will never treat them the same way that I would treat regular leads, unqualified leads, right? And finally, my funnel is way better is because, my funnels just follow up like crazy. My funnels follow up until you either die or buy, right? Or just get mad with me and hit unsubscribe button. That's it. There's only 3 options. You either kind of buy from me, or you just die, or you hit down subscribe button. There's really no other option to stop me from making offers to you if you're on my list, period. And it has to be that way. You know why? Because there's noise. There's so much noise out there that to stand out in the noise, that's what you got to do. Yeah, cyborg. That's the cyborg follow-up. Thank you, Sean. You're quite the wordsmith, right? So that's the funnel part. The second part is the traffic, right? Now we all know what traffic is. Everybody knows what traffic is. Type in one in the chat if you understand what the hell traffic is. It's not the traffic that you are stuck in when you go to work. It's traffic as in visitors that you generate to the offers you're promoting, to the websites you're promoting, and basically eyeballs that you generate through the internet. Everybody clear on that? Type one in the chat if you understand what it is. Okay, good. Okay, good. So everybody knows what traffic is. Perfect. So here's the deal with traffic. Here's why people struggle with traffic. First off, they're not making enough money to cover the costs. I mean, that's probably the most common reason why people simply can't generate anything. The other reason is because they promote low ticket products that pay low commissions, right? So in other words, if somebody's promoting a $50 product that's paying them $20 a sale, there's only so much they can spend, right? There's only so much that they can spend without seeing a return immediately before they have to shut down the ads. It's just basic math, okay? The kind of math that my fourth grader daughter can do. But that's the reality. It's simple math. Now, the other reason is because their follow-up process is short and ineffective, which of course, goes back to their lead funnels just in general. If you're not following up with the traffic you're generating, you're missing out on at least 80% of your sales. And because they're not building multiple streams of income, a lot of times when I see people generate traffic, they do it in a way where they're either going to make a sale right away or they don't make a sale at all, and that's pretty much it. But that's not the right way to do it. Now, I do my traffic a little bit differently, and I'm able to generate lots of it with ease. Here's a screenshot of me generating 26,000 clicks in the span of about a month and getting 4,000 conversions out of about almost 1 million impressions. Now, here's how I do it. First off, I promote mid to high ticket stuff. I promote mid to high ticket products that pay a lot of money for each sale. So even if I'm paying a lot for my traffic, guess what? I can afford it because the sales are covering the costs. Then another important thing is I keep 100% of the money. So if you're an affiliate marketer, right? The challenge is you're either getting way too little in commissions, or even if commissions are decent, you're still getting only half the money while you're the one paying 100% of the advertising cost, right? And because my follow-up is long and effective, like my follow-up, like I said, it's pretty relentless. So I don't really care even if I don't make the sale right away. I know exactly what each email address is worth to me. So I can pay more and not go out of business, right? Isabella says, I buy traffic and I get no sales. I know exactly what that feels like, Isabella. So stay tuned. And because I build multiple streams of income, so I have set up my funnels in a way where even if the first thing that's supposed to be making me money, even if the first thing doesn't sell, I have still many backup ways of how that list or that lead is going to convert into a sale down the road. Sometimes, and I'm probably the only person who ever speak about this out here in the public. Sometimes, it takes like a year to convert someone from a lead to a buyer. But you know what? I don't care, because once that person becomes a buyer, they become the most valuable lead you can possibly imagine. So as far as I'm concerned, not a problem for me. And my follow-up can really stretch that high, that long, because I will keep running promotions, of which I will talk about in a minute. Now, the third part is the email promotions, right? So once you got someone on your list, what do you do with them, right? You got to get them to open those emails, click on those links, and buy the products, right? So I'm not just talking about the automated follow-up that you can set up for people who immediately get on your list and they start immediately getting your emails. I'm talking even just about sporadic promotions you do, weekly promotions, daily promotions, and so on. And so, okay, the promotions, they're tricky for most people. Most people struggle generating income with email promotions. Here's why. Because first off, they don't really build an email list at all. Like a lot of people, they will drive traffic straight to an offer, especially affiliate marketers. They don't really build a list. They don't like the idea of building a list. They don't understand the value of building a list. They think that by putting a capture page in front of the traffic instead of the offer, they will get fewer conversions, which is a big misconception. So they don't have a list to follow up with. Now, because most of those who build an email list do not follow up. I already mentioned that earlier. Most people with a list actually don't email their list and they let those leads die. So it's one of those things that if you don't use it, you lose it. And that's a big, just a crying shame. They also write low converting emails out of the ones who actually do follow up. Oh, see, Jason says, I'm guilty of that, see? And I'm assuming that's about, not emailing your list when you had the chance. So because they write low converting emails, the few people who do follow up don't seem to generate results. They also promote low converting offers. Like you can be writing a good email, but if the offer you chose to promote doesn't convert, then, or doesn't convert with your audience specifically, then no use, trying. And because the email deliverability is in the toilet, which has been a challenge for many people in recent years, ever since Google made a few changes, GDPR and stuff like that, and because they're inconsistent. Another, another issue is that even if, and the entrepreneurs do it all the time, by the way, even if we do something that works, we just stop doing it. But a lot of times we do something once, we don't see results, and we stop doing it. So inconsistency is a big issue. Now, why do my email promotions make a lot of money? Well, because I qualify my leads and they're just better than other people's leads, period. Because I just write better emails because I'm good at it. I've been doing it for a long time, right? And because I promote high converting offers, which means even if my email promotion didn't generate lots of traffic, I'm still able to make lots of money because of the high conversions I create. And I'll show you examples of that in a bit. And because I follow up religiously with the people on my list. So even if you don't buy anything from me, in 6 months time, you've already gotten familiar with me. You know what I stand for. And it's only a matter of time if you haven't unsubscribed for you to finally say yes and buy something from me, right? So this is what my 8-figure business consists of. It's lead funnels, traffic, and email promotions, right? Now, if I get down into the specifics of everything that goes into running this business and creating this business, then your head's going to spin, right? Because this is not a full list, but this is just a glimpse into what it takes to build all this. It took me a long time and a lot of effort to do because in between funnels and traffic and email promotions and product creation, admin, all the back-end stuff, customer support, just look at it. It makes your head hurt, doesn't it? Do you really imagine yourself being able to do this? Type yes in the chat if you do see yourself being able to pull all this off, or type in no in the chat if you don't think you will pull this off. Because, if somebody told me that this is what it takes to build my business before I started, I don't know if I would have followed through. And, have you ever been on a webinar, right? Where people said, oh, it's easy to make money. It's easy to make money. Buy this thing for $1,000. Anyone been to a webinar like that? Just type in yes in the chat if you have. You attend a webinar for 60 minutes. Some guy comes out and says, hey, this is the easiest thing since sliced bread. Just give me $1,000 and you'll make money. Something like that, right? Awesome. So a lot of you have had this experience. Now, can you really imagine any one of them coming out and saying something well, look on the screen, see a million different things you have to do? Well, I can show you how to do these things and then you'll make money. How about that? Nobody would have bought their programs and courses and whatever, right? Nobody will tell you the truth because telling the truth will simply disqualify their entire sales argument. Yeah, and I see lots of yeses in the chat. So I just want to be transparent with you and say that it took me a lot of effort, money, figuring out, buying coaching, testing different things. And it's still a work in progress, to be honest with you. It's never like a finished thing. It's never like complete. It's always something you have to do, you have to tweak, you have to like put out a fire here and there. Now, it was totally worth it though. I mean, it's making me good money. I have a great lifestyle. I'm able to do the things I really love to do. I'm able to spend time with my family, to live in a place that I want to live. So, and I still get to make a lot of money. So it's a solid business, right? It took me from, I mean, from living in a dump, um, and driving bad, really shitty cars and living in the ghetto pretty much, to, being in a nice place and being able to give my family a nice lifestyle, which is great. So I guess my question is, knowing what you know now as to how my business operates in terms of what's like the 80/20 of the business and what it takes to build the business, right? Um, the question then becomes, which would you rather, right? So, and type your answer in the chat for me. Let's see. Would you rather build your own online business? And nothing wrong with that. You can do it. It's just going to take you effort, a lot of it. Or copy my 8-figure business. So which one would you rather? Let's see. Right. Wow. Not a single person said I will build my own online business. All right. Cool. So yeah, pretty much everybody is, yeah, yeah. So Greg, Isabella, Chris, Megan, Doc, David, Leroy, Imani, Louis, Jorge, Jennifer, Heather, Robert, John, Sean, Beula, Megan, Klaus, Carrie, Philip, Douglas, Andrew, Charles, Jeremiah, and Shane, and Sean, all, and Stephen, all say, I would much rather copy Igor's business. All right. So I guess this is exactly what this opportunity is about. It's about whether or not you'd like to copy my $10,016,226.97 online business, because by my modest calculation, just off by the online dashboards that I was able to compile together through all the different accounts I've got, without even going back and counting all the wires and the different things, that's at the very least what this business has made me in the last couple of years. So now, what if you could copy it? Would you like that? And no, Robert, you don't have to give me your right arm and your firstborn. No need for that. All right. All right, cool. So, yes. Yeah. So, type yes in the chat if you would like to copy my $10 million business. Awesome. So, we got someone by the name of Matt on the call. He kind of reminds me, I think, of somebody I used to follow a long time ago. He says, Hey, Igor, Matt here. I have built my own business. The email part is still the most profitable for the least effort. Yes, thank you. It is, truly is. It's pretty incredible just how well email marketing has aged, isn't it? Yeah, so would you like to copy my business? So let's see. Sean, Louis, Philip, Chris, Robert, Hans, Lloyd, Betty, John, Heather, Sean, Shane, Manel, Megan, Jason, another Sean, Charles, Doc, Leroy, Klaus, Jorge, Kari, Ted, Isabella, uh, Marie, Jennifer, awesome, Douglas, Rick, Greg, Beula, Clarence, awesome, fantastic. All right. So not only that though, would you like to copy my funnels, my offers, and my promotions? Yeah, how about that? And would you like to build a big list in the process? Yeah. And want to make big affiliate commissions too. And want to copy my email promotions as well as my traffic sources, right? Can it get any better than that? So basically, what I'm saying is, would you like to copy pretty much everything that makes my 8-figure business? And for me to also coach you on how to promote it by giving you my traffic sources, by giving you the ads, by basically walking you through how I run my email promotions, giving you some promotions you can copy. You can also build your own promotions if you want, right? So give me a quick, I don't know, there's so many yeses in the chat now. Give me a quick number 5 in the chat. Louis says, now you're talking to me, Igor. Yes, I am. All right. Um, yes, please, my friend to the end. 555. Awesome. Now, Andrew wants to know, why would you do all that? Okay, so this is a great question, Andrew. I was hoping you're going to ask that, or somebody would ask that, and I'll get to that in a bit. Okay, I promise to satisfy your curiosity. All right. So, all right. So many fives. Sean Manel, Leroy. I mean, I'm getting pretty tired reading your names, but it's so fun. Louis, Sean, Manel, Leroy, Lloyd, Heather, Greg, Doc, Stephen, Robert, Megan, Richard, Jared, Andrew, Clarence, Isabella, Hannes, Annette, Charles, Chris, David, Douglas, John, Klaus, Rick, McDonald, Jennifer, Mary, Beula, Nate, Arthur, Kari, Will, Bones. Oh, Bones, what's up? Douglas, Jorge. Awesome. All right. Man, I think it's the most active chat I've ever seen on a webinar. All right. Well, if so, if you do want me to basically take a copy of my business and copy it over to you, then a couple things you should know. Okay. Before requesting a copy of my business, I pretty much have to enforce the following on you. First off, not a free service. Already said that in the beginning of the call, but hey, never a bad idea to mention it again. This is not a free service. It's not a charity. There will be an investment required because it's worth it and because I worked my butt off to build this 8-figure online business. The second thing, I will screen the partners, right? So no matter who you are, no matter if you're an existing customer, not an existing customer, even if you're a guru, I don't care. I will screen whoever wants to partner up with me because my brand, my name, my face is all over this business. And I can't let crazy people go around the internet using it for obvious reasons. It's an easy way to get in trouble, especially on the internet where anyone can do anything to anyone, right? So you will be vetted and I will give priority to existing clients if a conflict arises. Okay. Now, the third thing is you're paying for your traffic. So, in other words, when you're on the traffic, you're building your own business, your own list, and you're keeping the money from the sales you're making. So, you're paying for the traffic, not me. I'm not going to be, uh, you know, basically paying for your traffic. Make sense, guys? So, type in makes sense in the chat if you understand and agree with these three terms. It's really important. I really don't want any, bad expectations later, right? So I'm setting those expectations right away up front. I want to be super transparent because there's really no reason for any shenanigans here. So type in makes sense if you understand these terms and you agree and you basically proceed beyond this point, understanding and knowing this stuff, right? Makes sense. All right. All right. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. And number 4, which I forgot, is I'll coach you, but you have to show up. So in other words, not gonna chase you, not gonna change your diaper, not looking to babysit anyone. You're not 3, right? I already have a 3-year-old and a 9-year-old at home, so got my hands full with that. I'm not gonna babysit you, but I will coach you. Got it? Right? Cool. So if you don't agree to any of these terms, you're welcome to leave now because the terms will not change. It's my business. It's opportunity that I've created and I get to dictate the rules. You have a problem with that? This is not for you. Now, the next step is for you to book your interview. As I mentioned, you have to be screened. You have to talk to a real human person for an interview. Okay. And do you have to? Can't I just give you a link to buy something? Yes, you have to. I can't just give you a link to buy something. I'm sorry. This is one of those things that you really have to have a conversation. I have to ask you who you are, what your expectations are, what your experience is. I want to see who I'm working with because believe it or not, the internet is full of crazy people and they do make their way through my doorstep, unfortunately, every now and again, right? Now, I will answer all the questions. So if you have any questions about this opportunity, please post them in the chat as they come in. And I have Lana in the chat assisting me today. So she's collecting the questions and she will feed them to me and I will answer all the questions to you. Okay. Right. So All right, cool. So you do have to talk to a real human person because we don't know you and we have to know who you are. Now, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I devote a lot of time to my kids. My daughter, she's going through like tons of different activities, which I facilitate, like learning how to code, singing, performing on stage. She actually just passed qualification to a singing contest, like where she's gonna go with her group to Washington D.C. So that's gonna take time. We're actually gonna make our way to D.C. our entire family to support her. So and then we've got the 3-year-old who's just now starting to get active. So he's starting to do some judo. I'm gonna enroll him into some football training. So it's gonna be crazy, and my schedule simply won't allow me to invest too much time into doing interviews because between my kids, me being a devoted husband, and really facilitating the circumstance for romantic relationship so the marriage keeps flourishing. I mean, I give it all to my family, so it leaves very little time to conduct interviews. Okay. And this is why I really have to scare away tire kickers as much as I can. In other words, I really have not so much patience for tire kickers, but rather the time. Because if I speak to a tire kicker who has no intention of moving forward, and that means it's an hour or 30 minutes or 40 minutes that I couldn't spend with somebody who was serious and really needed that conversation, right? So I am going to scare the tie kickers away right now by having you submit a refundable $100 deposit to conduct the interview. Okay, again, I repeat, the refundable $100 deposit to conduct the interview. So I know you're not a tire kicker. Okay, now, how does that work? You submit the $100 deposit. We have our 45 or so minute interview. I find out who you are. Then I tell you about the program, and then you make a decision whether or not you want to become a part of this program and partner up with me. If you do want to partner up with me, we hug it out, we get you started. If you don't, we just part ways united in mutual respect, and you get your $100 deposit back. Now, if you and me partner up, then what's going to happen is we're simply going to apply this deposit if you want to the enrollment fee into the program. And if not, you can still have it back and you'll just submit, the enrollment fee. Okay. Now, if for any reason it's not a good fit, whether for you or for us, then I'll just give you a gift. It's a special case study I created where I explain how I made $98,000 in commissions in just 7 days by running a promotion to my email list, which I think is very educational, seeing exactly what occurred. How did I build a landing page? What emails did I send out? And what offer I promoted? All right. So it's really straightforward. Okay. There's no commitment and no pressure. By submitting this deposit, you don't have to partner up with me. Okay. In other words, if you submit this deposit, it doesn't mean you're now committed to partnering up with me. No, it is only for us to conduct the interview, because during the interview, either you or me, either one of us can decide it's not a fit and cancel the whole deal. You get your refundable deposit back. Does that make sense to you guys? All of you understand that? Please type in understand in the chat if you understand this, because it could be tricky for some people to get it. If you submit the deposit and for any reason it's not a good fit, you get your deposit back. If you submit the deposit and we have this interview and it's a good fit for both of us, then this deposit simply gets applied to your enrollment fee into the program to partner up with me and copy my business. Very simple. Awesome. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Perfect. So, do we have a deal? Type deal in the chat if you and me are on the same page about this. Again, risk-free, refundable deposit, book an interview, have the interview. If it is a good fit, join the program. If it's not a good fit, don't join the program, get deposit back. Very simple, very straightforward process. I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can here, just so we're all on the same page. Do we have a deal? Right? Louis says, deal if I can get a lifestyle mug. You know what? Lana, please make a note. Let's send Louis a lifestyle mug. Okay? Okay. The other Doug says deal, says Doug. Okay, cool. So I want to see more deal in the chat. Come on, what is this? I've seen like a million people saying copy, 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 and only half of you said deal. Come on. If you haven't typed the word deal in the chat, you type the word deal. Badass. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Awesome. So here's the link where you go to submit the $100 refundable deposit. Okay. It is at igor.top/partner. And the link will now be posted in the chat. Okay. The link will now be posted in the chat for you. It is igor.top/partner. So you can either click on it in the chat, or you can open a new link in your browser, a new tab in your browser. So whether it's Firefox or Google Chrome or Edge, whatever it is, or even on your phone, to be honest, you can also do it on your phone. So you can grab your phone, fire up the web browser and type in igor.top/partner, and it will take you to the page that looks like this page. That's basically a form for you to submit your name, your email, your phone number, and your credit card details and your address. It's very important. We also need your address here because it will be verified against your bank. So, basically they verify you intended to submit the payment. So it will charge you a $100 deposit, and it says refundable deposit at the top of the page, so you can see it there. Okay, so go to igor.top/partner right now, and it will basically take you to the form. Now, once you've submitted the $100 refundable deposit, you will be then taken to a page that looks a bit like this. It'll have a calendar on the page where you can pencil yourself in to either my schedule, or if my schedule is full, you will be able to pencil yourself into the schedule of my customer success concierge or customer success manager, if you will, a student of mine that became very successful and is now helping me out full time. Okay, you'll be able to pencil yourself into his schedule so you can chat with him and conduct the interview with him. Okay, so very, very important. You go there right now. So igor.top/partner. Got it? So open a new tab or open it up on your phone. Just type in igor.top/partner. Should take you to a page that looks like this. And then once you've paid, it will redirect you to a page with this calendar. So all you have to do is just pencil yourself into the schedule. Very simple. You just follow the instructions and it will tell you exactly what to do. It's super straightforward. I'm sure you've done it a million times before. Now, the call is going to take place on Zoom. Okay, so you will be emailed a Zoom link as soon as you book the call, right? And so if you don't have Zoom on your computer, once you click on that link before the call, you will install Zoom automatically. If you already have Zoom on your computer, which most likely you do because everybody uses Zoom, then you already have the ability to conduct the interview, okay? Now, very important, I want to remind you that the purpose of this talk is to basically get a yes or a no from both of us, okay? Yes or no. This call is really about that, to figure out, is it a good fit or is it not a good fit? I don't want to get stuck in the middle. It's not about collecting information to think about it or whatever. It's all about, is it a good thing for me or is it not a good thing for me? Is it a good thing for Igor or is it not a good thing for Igor? Is it a good thing for you as my partner or not? Only you can make that decision once you know more about how this would work, okay? Now, what I can promise you is that this is not going to be a Wolf of Wall Street style high pressure sales call where me and the guys would be trying to, hook you onto something. It's really not that. It'll be an interview, okay? In fact, if at any point you feel like you're being sold to, if you feel like you're being pressured, if you feel like you're somehow being held hostage or whatever, I invite you to literally just hang up, don't even explain yourself, and ask your deposit back. That's it. I mean, you really don't have to even explain yourself. This is going to be the furthest from a high pressure sales call as you can possibly imagine. But this could be a life-changing call, right? Because I'm known for teaching people how to make money with list building, affiliate marketing, And here's one of my students, David Deacle, who actually is now making roughly about $100,000 per month. Per month. This is a guy who used to sell smartphone cases for Rogers, a conglomerate, like a media conglomerate here in Canada. And he basically is now making a ton of money, as well as a bunch of other people I've helped and worked with in one capacity or another, as you can see on the screen in that leaderboard you're seeing. Okay, so this call can be life changing because 90 days after having a phone call with me, and remember, I've taught him how to do this. I didn't give him a business. I actually taught him how to build his own business. Just 90 days after having the call with me, he earned $16.8 thousand for himself. Now, of course, this would have been probably much faster if he got a business that was ready to go. But again, this guy, David, he built his business based on what I taught him. So again, I'm basically going to be handing you over a business I've built that operates on the same exact principles. And, my business is a bit bigger than his. Okay. So, but the problem is that few people are like him. Few people are like David. Like few people are willing to do the work. Like David was so hardworking that when he was putting his business together in Toronto, there was a blizzard that took out power for 4 days. You know what he did? He actually went in and checked into a hotel where there was power so he could continue to work on his business. So he was dedicated. He pretty much zoned out everything else besides this. Now, not everybody's like that. Not everybody can do it for one reason or another. And it just takes a lot of work to build a business. So what I'm offering here is a shortcut, right? A shortcut that allows you to cut through the maze that so many people get stuck in. And remember, guys, if you have any questions about this opportunity, post them in the chat right now, okay? And I will answer them. Lana will collect them in the chat and she will feed them to me one by one. So if you have any questions, please post them in the chat and we'll handle them. So I'm already seeing applications coming in. Let's see. Let me read out a couple of names. So Arthur, Chris, Bernd, Megan, Sean, Kari, Eric, Steven, right? So applications are coming in. Awesome. Now, this is important for you guys to know because, like I said, there will not be an opportunity for everybody to join. I'll explain it to you in a minute. It has to do with saturation and a few other things, but there will be a strict limit to how many people that I will lend to this program. So even if you've submitted an application, I don't guarantee you will get in. So if you want to just maximize your chances, please get on my calendar as soon as you possibly can. So, some people love to wait until the end of the webinar sometimes, to do something. Like, don't. I'm telling you now, don't. Take this opportunity right now to go to igor.top/partner from your phone, from your computer, from your tablet, doesn't matter. Okay, go there right now and submit the refundable deposit and then pencil yourself in to the call with me. Now, once you've penciled yourself into the call, you will be redirected to an application page where you can give me more details about who you are. Okay, so that you can do a bit later. But to pencil yourself into my schedule, please do it right away. Okay, so again, you can do it at igor.top/partner. It's very important. So let's go ahead and cover some questions. Okay, so before I do cover some questions, real quick in the chat, so far, guys, have I delivered on what I stated this is going to be about? I told you coming in, this is going to be about how you can copy my 8-figure business, right? So did I deliver so far and everything I promised? Did I explain to you what principles this business operates from and how you can become a part of this? Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. All right, perfect. Awesome. All right, cool. Thank you very much for your feedback. Now, let's go ahead and cover some questions. Let me see, where are those questions? Lana's been feeding some my way. All right, question from Doug. Does this offer include email follow-up? Yes, sir, it does. You will be able to use my follow-ups that I created, that I've been testing. And I not only test my follow-ups as far as conversions, I also test them for the clicks. I also test them for deliverability, avoiding spam words and things like that. So it definitely does include an email follow-up for sure. Awesome. Now, another question. Will you show us where to get the best traffic? Yes. Matter of fact, I'll show you two big traffic sources that I'm using right now. I'll show you the traffic sources that will pretty much, I mean, you won't need any other traffic source, to be honest with you, because even I can't maximize this sort of volume. So you'll be able to either get started with spending as little as $5 or $10 a day on traffic, or if you want to go bigger, you will be able to do a bit bigger. But yeah, I definitely will show you. I definitely will show you what to do there. Okay. Awesome. Now let's see what else. Another traffic question. So I just answered that. Sean asks, do you take MasterCard? Yes. Yes, we do take MasterCard for the deposit. All right. If I'm already a part of the List Building Lifestyle program, will activity be blended into this partner program? So one will be complementary to to the other. Okay. It definitely will be complementary to the other. So if you're a member of my List Building Lifestyle program, what basically happens is everything I teach in the List Building Lifestyle program, you will just be able to ride on me, right? Basically piggybacking off of my work to benefit from the same stuff that I teach inside that program. So it's basically a shortcut. Okay. Now, Shane asks if this is one-time payment or a monthly payment. Shane, if you're asking about the deposit, the refundable deposit, it's a one-time payment of $100. And this is a deposit that if we don't end up working together, you get it back. And if we do end up working together, you basically apply this deposit to the enrollment fee into this program. Okay. Alan says, bottom line, what's the investment? Then I can establish the fit. Well, here's the thing, Alan. Before I answer this question, here's my experience. My experience is people who ask this question usually ask it for two reasons. One reason is they're really broke. And I don't say it in like a judgmental, mean way. I don't mean to be a douchebag or anything. But they ask this question because coming in, they know they can't afford it. And they've kind of already decided that they can't afford it because they're used to not being able to afford stuff. Now, another reason why people ask that question is because they're now looking for a reason to not apply. In other words, somebody who wants to copy my 8-figure business, they don't ask themselves if and whatever, and if this is so, this is so. They just say, I really want this, and I'll just figure out how to make it happen. In fact, this is how I tend to go for the things I truly want. Like, I really love playing soccer. And so trying to arrange about 15 people for a game is really difficult. You always get these, flaky guys who are like, well, I'm not sure if I can make it. What if this? What if that? And will this happen this? And can I do this? At the end of the day, people who want to come and play football or soccer, they'll come in and they'll play. They'll make it happen. They won't bother you with telling you that their wife is angry at them because they were supposed to babysit the kids that time. They'll rearrange their plans and they will make it happen. That's what I do. I rearrange my plans and I make it happen if I possibly can. And if I can't, I just say, no, I just can't. So usually people who ask me about the investment, they almost do it to have an excuse right away. And my answer to these people is really, is it truly about the investment? Because you've just seen how much money this business is making me. You've also seen what other people make with their lists. So it's not a question of whether it works. It works. You wouldn't be on this webinar if you didn't know it works. So usually it really comes down to whether or not you're in before you even know what the investment is. Like I was hooked on the idea of making multiple streams of income way before I knew or even cared about what it's going to take for me to build a business. I mean, just look at this. Like, does it really matter what the investment is if a business is constantly producing 4 figures a day? Would it really matter? I mean, let's say the investment, and I'm just kind of giving you a number that's not true, right? I'm just giving you an example, exaggerating it on purpose. Let's say the investment for this is $100,000, which it isn't, but for the sake of the example, if the investment for a business that's making $6,000 or $8,000 per day, right, from multiple streams of income, is 100 grand, do you think it's a fair price? Yes, it is, because you make that money back very quickly and then you start producing profits. So if you have the investor mindset, even $100,000 price tag wouldn't scare you off. Again, it's not $100,000. I'm just giving you an example. So usually when people do ask me about the investment, that's really like what they're getting at. They're like, give me an excuse not to apply, right? Give me an excuse right now so I don't have to waste my time. Otherwise, I'll be wondering all the time. Now, to those of you who are truly concerned about the investment, like people who say, I really want this, but I am concerned. Like, I don't have a lot of money. I might not be able to afford it, whatever. Now, for those people, I can say that we do have the option of financing. So if you're a good fit, if it's good on both sides, is both you and me say, right, that sounds good, then we can discuss financing. We have low interest and even no interest financing options. You would need about a credit score of about 580 to qualify for that. So, and then you can pay off the whole thing in small monthly payments. We have probably even score some extra financing for the traffic for you to run, and it shouldn't be a problem, right? Because today, in this post-COVID world, financial help, financial aid is really easy to come by, right? So here's what I can also tell you about investments in general. Usually, anyone who's truly committed and who is truly a good fit, and over the years I've had lots of different students and from lots of different backgrounds. Anyone who's truly committed, usually we find a way to make it work. I mean, period. So yeah, I mean, if you ask me, usually we truly make an effort to make it work. Okay, so let me see other questions. Let's see. I covered this one. I covered this one. Okay. Right. So that was Philip. Right. So Isabel asked pretty much the same question. She said, how much is the investment? I don't want to book until I know this. Don't want to waste your time. Isabel, exactly the same answer. If you feel you will waste my time, don't book the call. I really only want to work with people who are like decisive. Really. I mean, if you're a decisive person, you don't even think in those terms. You don't think, oh, I'm going to waste someone's time. No, you think, I'm a go-getter. I'm going to do what's necessary to make this happen. That's it. And even if I don't have all the money right now, I will find a way to make it happen. I need to talk to Igor. I need Igor to hear my case. I mean, like I said, if somebody's truly committed, they find a way to make it work, right? Now, another question I see from Charles. He says, I recently just signed up for your Mads Academy a few weeks ago. Okay, cool. Well, this will complement it, trust me. Plus, if you only recently, like a week ago, signed up for Mads Academy, then what we'll do, if it's a good fit, we will also apply your Mads Academy investment towards the fee for the program, because they go hand in hand. Okay, so if you invest in Mads Academy, we can actually take that and also apply it towards the investment if it's a good fit. Okay. All right. Another question from Doug. What would I have to do to be successful if I get this incredible offer? Email follow up. Does this go well with the Done For You program? Right. So, what you'll need to do is you need to drive traffic and send out promotions to the list after the initial follow up is over. So, basically, your primary tasks would be email marketing and driving traffic, right? Hope that answers your question. All right, another question. Will this work for newbies? Yeah, I mean, this has been created with the newbies in mind, right? Just, I mean, think about it. If somebody is really experienced and is able to build all this stuff on their own, right? Then why would they need me to build it for them? So this opportunity is created for beginners or for people who are experienced, but they've been struggling for so long. They're just saying, to hell with it. Let me just get a shortcut of some kind, right? All right. So we have a few more questions and I'll let more questions accumulate. So if you have anything else, then go ahead and post it in the chat and Lana will pick it up. And in the meantime, I'll proceed with a few things that I want to share with you in addition to what I shared with you so far, right? All right. So when you're using my business and using my funnels, driving traffic becomes actually much easier because you collect the lead, you are able to convert the leads into buyers, and you're also selling products that are higher priced. So you're actually able to make more money and recoup the money. So this way you can start using automated traffic sources, right? And drive traffic automatically. And at that point, scaling the traffic becomes very easy. Automating the traffic becomes very easy. So it's not a time consuming thing. So all in all, if you've got automated funnels and you've got an automated traffic, guess what's going to be automated? Your income. Your income will be automated. Make sense? That type makes sense in the chat if you understand this. The way to automate your income is to have the visitors coming in automatically and for your funnels to be converting them automatically as well, right? Everybody clear on this? Come on, more makes sense. It's not a hard concept to grasp. If you work really hard to produce sales by driving the traffic, you're not automating anything, right? If you work really hard to close the sales, you're not automating anything. So unless both of these things are automated, you cannot make passive income. Passive income comes when both of these are automated, right? Awesome. Next. I also want to remind you that the purpose of this is to help you build a list and to help you build a big list. So you can be adding thousands of people to your email list every single day, right? Not just, trickles here and there. It's all about helping you build a big responsive email list because a list is a money-making asset. It's a tree. It's a money tree that you can shake anytime you need money. You literally email your way to profits. Like whenever you need anything, there's this famous joke or anecdote about John Lennon and Paul McCartney. When I'm gonna write a swimming pool, right? I think I want a swimming pool. All right, let's write a new song, and there you go. So, I mean, that's truly been the experience for me. Whenever I need more money, I mail for it. And it's not to say that like I'll just send an email and people magically start sending me money. No, nothing like that. They exchange money for value, for real value, and for products. But I mean, the activity is to promote to the list. So the list you're building is as far as I'm concerned, is a money tree. I mean, I really think of a list more like real estate, but better because with real estate, you can create passive income and it can also increase and grow equity. But there's lots of problems like tenants, for example, they don't pay up and you have to evict them, which happened to me a couple of times. There's investment capital requirement, right? Because to buy a piece of real estate, you need like, depending on where you live, several $100,000 to over $1 million. Like I live in Toronto, and real estate prices here are really, really just skyrocketing right now, and it's one of the biggest, considered to be one of the biggest real estate bubbles in the world. So when I bought my house last year, I had to pay $1.6 million Canadian dollars, but that's like $1.3 million that I paid for my house. Now, even I don't have that sort of cash laying around, and even if I did, I wouldn't just put it all into my house, right? So I had to get mortgages and apply and credit and things like that. So I mean, it's a big problem. It's a problem. Like in real estate, you can only really make money if you have money. Let's be honest. There's also real estate crashes and things can go down, but the other problem is to cash out, you really need to sell the list. I'm sorry, to cash out, you really need to sell your property. Now, with a list, you don't really need to sell your list. In other words, like this is an asset that produces all the time. I've now got people who've been on my list for like 10 years who continue to buy from me. So these are assets. These are real people who are continuing to produce income for me. And these people are worth literally tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the last 10 years. And to be honest with you, I didn't even talk to many of them. Like I've never really connected with them in person, on the phone, or otherwise. Like these people, they just exist. But at the same time, I'm not like chasing them or whatever. And many I don't even know by name. So with a list, I can create passive income. I can also increase my passive income over time because my list grows over time. There's a minimum time investment required to manage it, and investment capital that's required to build it is nothing compared to what's required to make money in real estate. That's for sure. I also don't need any tenants, and I literally cash out from my list daily by mailing it. Right? I mean, just mail the list, and that's how you cash out. And email to this day and will continue to be the hands down most profitable online marketing strategy, period. Nothing beats email. I don't care if there's going to be the next TikTok coming out tomorrow. Nothing beats email. Nothing. Email rules the universe, the marketing universe. Nothing beats email. It's producing the highest ROI on everything. Like you've heard, there's I read out a comment by Matt who was on this call, who's like a guy is a guru, right? I used to follow Matt. His last name is Garrett. I used to follow him a long time ago. He's actually one of the first few people who facilitated communities for email swaps, which I used to do a lot. So I mean, the guy's still making all this money from email marketing, and he's now been doing this marketing thing longer than I had. And I've now been doing this thing for like close to 15 years. So email is stronger than ever. It's producing more money than ever. And it's pretty incredible what you can do with a list as little of 5 to 10,000 people as far as your income, right? Now, will I teach you? Will I show you how to make money with your list? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I'll walk you through every single thing that I do, right? Every single thing that I do to make money from my list. Oh, Matt's still on the webinar. Incredible. So he says 22 years. Matt's been making money with email a good part of 22 years. Now, what's interesting, because there's this thing called the Linda effect, which basically states the longer something has been around and working, the better the chances that it will stay around and work. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All right. Now, another reason why a list is so powerful is really because a list is giving you leverage, and a lot of people don't really get that until they see this math. So let's say you're adding 100 subscribers a day to your list, and it takes you about 10 minutes a day to mail your list and to get a conversion of about 5% to sales, right? So let's say you're selling something for $50. So you make 5 sales on the first day at $50 each. That's $250. All right. So then the next day you add another 100 subscribers. So now you have 200. Same exact time that it takes you to email the whole list, 10 minutes, because we're using an automated software, right? You get the same 5% conversion. Now you're making 10 sales at 50 a pop, and it's 500. Now you repeat this exercise for 30 days, and what ends up happening is on day 30, you've got 3,000 subscribers. It takes you the exact same 10 minutes to email them. And if you get the same conversion of 5%, guess what? It's 7,500 from a single email. Now, let's say you don't have 5% conversion. Let's say you get half that. Let's say you get, 2% conversion. 2% on 3,000 people is what? I want to say 60, right? 60 sales at $50 each. That's still pretty good money. That's still, I think, over $3,000. So leverage. An email list gives you leverage. You understand? This is why the list is so powerful. And oftentimes to me, getting the lead through my funnel is more valuable, or at least more interesting, more important than to worry about the initial sale, that whether it takes place or doesn't take place. Because I know that the leverage I get from it is just incredibly powerful. Even if somebody doesn't buy from me, when they go through my products, guess what's going to happen? They're going to buy something that I promote. I just wrapped up a promotion for a program where I've generated some pretty badass conversions. And I checked who bought, right? So about 30% of the people who bought weren't even my customers. They were just leads on the list. So this means these people went through my stuff, did not buy from me, and yet they still ended up buying something else that brought me a commission of about $225 per sale. Not bad. Not bad. And sometimes I really forget about how good we have it here, because I've got a friend who has a restaurant. He is literally looking at whether they're making money like today.